Hello, amazing story. You welcome to another what if from Star Wars. Actually, this is my first time doing a what if video because I did one where I had guessed how Palpatine was going to return, like how they were going to explain that. So that was really fun. So now what I'm going to be doing is what if Star Wars had a Geneva convention? So this would have been right at the start of the Clone Wars, and we're just going to kind of go through kind of what I think would happen if they had something like that. Um, so we're going to get started. So the Battle of Geonosis. There were many deaths in the first Battle of Geonosis. Approximately 179 Jedi were killed in the arena and by General Grievous. An estimated 100,000 clone troopers were killed, and many droids and Geonosians were also destroyed. Jango Fett was decapitated by Mace Windu, and Anakin Skywalker lost his right arm to Count Dooku. The aftermath and reflection. After escaping Geonosis and meeting Darth Sidious in the industrial district on Coruscant, giving the Death Star plans away, the Count returns home to Sereno, pacing back and forth, wondering if he's really made the right choice. This is not what he joined the Separatists for. This is not what Qui-Gon or Yaddle had to die for. The Count makes a decision. If Obi-Wan didn't listen, maybe she would. He sits at his desk, opens a secure channel, and contacts Padme Amidala. The conversation. Troubled by guilt, he admits he has given Sidious a powerful superweapon design capable of destroying entire systems. He tells Padme this is not what he intended when joining the Separatists and invokes Qui-Gon's ideals to show his sincerity. Dooku warns that Palpatine is becoming too powerful and that the Republic is in danger. He asks Padme to help him create a people-ratified treaty to rein in the war and expose the Chancellor's growing tyranny. Padme, skeptical but concerned, agrees to listen. This is the Galactic Conduct Accord. So they would have treatment of prisoners, chemical, biological, and planet scale weapon bans, droid sentience protections, Jedi and Dark Force user rules, and then restrictions on clones. And we'll get a little bit more into that in the next slides. So treatment of prisoners, no torture of captured soldiers. Jedi and Sith are protected combatants, which is controversial on both sides. Battle droids are any battle droids that are captured are to be shut down, not dismantled or reprogrammed. And then for the chemical, biological, planet scale weapon bans on orbital bombardment of civilian populations, bans on planet wide sterilizers like Omega class biological weapons, and prohibition of seismic charges in planetary atmospheres. The droid sentience protection, prohibition on sentient simulation abuse, meaning clones and droids both must have rights to humane treatment, and then outlawing cruel programming mandates. And then Jedi and Dark Force user rules. Jedi may not act as policymakers or generals unless elected by regional populations. Sith aligned combatants must declare themselves so civilian populations can identify war zones, and then neither side may forcibly recruit Force sensitives. As for the restrictions on clones must be given legal autonomy and cannot be used as disposable assets. No accelerated aging forced service beyond 5 years without consent, and medical care guaranteed for clone veterans. So, what are the immediate consequences? Well, Palpatine's first major setback would be he is suddenly restricted. He can't accelerate the war through atrocities. He can't justify emergency powers via fear. He can't demonize the Separatists publicly because the GCA humanizes them. The Jedi Order becomes split. Some Jedi support the GCA, such as Plo Koon and Aayla Secura. Others believe it limits their ability to lead, such as Mace Windu. Dooku gains genuine popularity because he appears more peaceful and principled. The Separatist cause spreads more quickly but less violently. Clones begin questioning everything. If clones receive rights by law, they start seeing themselves as soldiers by choice, not property and people with futures. So what happens to Sidious's plans? Order 66 becomes unreliable. If clones are citizens with full protections, they can't legally have inhibitor chips forced on them. They might refuse unlawful orders. Jedi may have more respectable relationships with their troops, and Palpatine's ability to wipe out the Jedi quietly collapses. So then Dooku defects and exposes Palpatine. The GCA makes Dooku rethink serving Sidious. He comes forward secretly to Padme or the Jedi Council with the truth. Palpatine is a Sith Lord. He orchestrated both sides of the war. He intends to dissolve the Senate and create an empire. The Jedi investigate quietly. A Senate inquiry begins. Palpatine is exposed years early. No empire, and the Clone Wars end by year 1. So, alternate fates for the major characters. Anakin Skywalker remains a Jedi Knight, but leaves the Order after the wars raise his children. He marries Padme openly, becomes a Republic military reformer, and later trains Luke and Leia in the Living Force. Then Padme Amidala becomes Chancellor by unanimous Senate vote after Palpatine's fall, oversees a Reformation era that restructures the government into a semi-decentralized body with stronger checks on executive power, and then lives to see her children become galactic ambassadors. For Count Dooku, he turns on Sidious, helps end the war, and voluntarily surrenders. He would be placed under monitored exile and would write a philosophical text that helps guide future Jedi politics. You can call that the Fall of Serenno. As for the Jedi Order, it reforms to limit political entanglement, opens schools on many worlds, begins integrating families, emotions, and mindfulness instead of the old dogma, becomes deeply respected again. The clones, many retire early and become respected citizens. Some form the Clone Veterans Guild, advocating for clone autonomy. Rex becomes Commander General of the Republic Defense Reformation Corps. The Separatists do not dissolve. It becomes the Confederation of Independent Republics, which is a sister government to the Republic, functioning like the EU or the UN. And then Chancellor Palpatine, or Darth Sidious, is imprisoned for life, never escapes, and the Sith influence slowly fades from galactic history. So I think that's kind of really fun. If Padme had made this bill or pushed for this bill and it got passed, it would pretty much make Star Wars be finished by the Clone Wars, because they wouldn't be able to do any war crimes and everything like that like they usually do. So this was really fun to make, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.